Welcome to our show, Never Trust a Fart. We are broadcasting on Twitch to begin with, and I take it, I had some music, edited it up, put it on YouTube on every Wednesday, so this will show up on Wednesday. If you would like to be a guest on here, let us know. We will invite you to our Zoom meeting, which is what we're using the format here. That's what this is, Zoom, streamed over to Twitch and then recorded for YouTube. I read an article today, changing the subject slightly. Carry, right to carry, which I'm totally all for, I'm all for carrying legally. It's a tool.
Yes.
When I was a military policeman, I had to sit there and I looked down and remind myself, oh, wow, yeah, that's right, I got a gun on me. I was reading anyways, getting to my point now, I was reading the CNN on the kid that attacked the gunman.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah. The one that got the arm shot off.
Oh, yeah.
And this is, of course, I'm reading this on a CNN write-up.
Right.
Not a video. The video is there too, but it's all written up. And it was all going about how two people are not going to go home. He was able to go home and sleep in his own bed. I'm going to be in pain forever. I was legally carrying. As I was reading this, I'm looking at it, and there was one sentence, and it was at least they reported it, which kind of surprised me, that he had the gun in his hand when he went up to the kid. And CNN actually, because some people are saying it's photoshopped in. CNN is reporting it was in his hand. Now, if somebody's coming at me with a gun in their hand, dang straight, I'm going to pull a trigger if I think they're coming at me to shoot me.
Exactly. That's a big thing. And when you're carrying, when you're concealed carrying, you're open carrying, you're carrying any kind of firearm, if it's in the ready condition where you are in the holster, I forgot the conditions of it. I'm not going to be a tactical kind of guy to describe it. But if it's sitting in your holster, that's one point.
Yeah.
The second you draw it and it is now in your hand, you have exacerbated the situation.
Exactly.
You're just throwing flames on the fire. If you have to go tactical and start shooting, then you got into the third step, and now there's no way to come back home. Somebody's not going to be able to go see their wife that day.
Yeah.
And that's the steps you're going to. And he definitely, by the video that I've seen and by CNN's admonition, he definitely breached that barrier and created himself a situation in which he was a viable target.
Now, mind you, Rittenhouse created the situation by showing up with an automatic rifle.
No, it was not automatic.
Oh, okay. Well, it was an assault rifle.
Right.
We can agree on that. It was a rifle.
I'll go with rifle. Assault is an action, not a noun.
That's true. But nevertheless, he had a rifle and...
He had a semi-automatic Armalite series rifle.
Right. And just like you said, as far as out of the holster, it was in the ready position as well. So he's not totally without guilt, in the whole situation of things.
I'll go one better with you on that one, Doug. He's a 17-year-old kid. I have a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You had 3 17-year-old kids. At one point, each one were 17.
Right.
At what point in your life would that 17-year-old have had permission from you and even the ability for you to drive that 17-year-old to a riot?
Yeah.
To go
and put
help
him on
out
the street armed.
Yeah. Okay. I think mom and dad have some culpability in this one.
Yep.
Yeah, the kid fired. I think he fired in self-defense, and I think he's going to do something that a couple of them won't do, and he's going to walk. But that's my own opinion on it. And I'd like to help him. I'm really distraught at the fact that they've killed all the GoFundMe's for the kid. But I'm really happy to see that he has that one attorney that helped out that kid in Washington D.C. Okay, I'm glad he got that one. That kid's going to be a wash in cash pretty soon if that's the case. But who would release their kid into a riot?
Yeah,
okay,
he's not without guilt.
Oh, he's not. He's not.
Yeah, but
okay.
I don't think he's guilty of murder.
No, I don't think he's going to be guilty of manslaughter.
No, it was self-defense, I believe.
It was self-defense.
Yeah.
And wow, that kid's even though they were close, I'll give you that. But the kid was a pretty good shot.
Yeah, but he is going to get in trouble for being there. Kind of creating the situation. You know what I mean?
I fear that what he did is going to hit every good law-abiding gun owner at a different point.
In a different way, yeah.
Yes, that is my biggest fear on the whole thing.
And I
Now,
totally
we
agree.
have them for that same reason. We have them for self-defense. That's why we're using it. And I've had countless arguments about people that say, hey, well, what do you need an AR-15 for self-defense? See, Carl.
Yeah.
In fact, somewhere around, I'll send you a meme on that one, too, that I absolutely adore. And
I'll put it in our rotation down here on our feed. If you see right down there on Twitch.
yeah.
But the reason why I laughed a moment ago is because it reminded me. I went to an auction the other night. They have it close by, and they were moving. I mean, it was one of the fastest. I mean, it was almost to a point where please slow down because people are winning that you don't even have a chance to bid. But he had a shitload of stuff to go through. Now, what was interesting was he'd sit there and he'd hit one person for, the household stuff. Another person with the furniture would come up. Another person would come. I got me a nice compound bow. But
Sweet.
all through it, every time you've seen somebody holding up something for sale, every rotation to be with one guy, Anthony or something, and he'd have ammunition. Every single rotation. Got a bag full of 45. Got a bag full of 30-06. Got a bag full of,
I'll take it.
That thing, it lasted for about 3 hours. Every rotation, there was ammo.
Jeez.
Oh my God, there was a lot of ammo. I mean, it's just like...
Aren't you glad they were able to auction that stuff and they didn't have to go out and fight a fire in that house? Can you imagine that stuff cooking off?
Yeah, and I was thinking, this is why, people don't go, we don't hear about a lot of home invasions around here.
Here.
Yeah, because they are loaded to bear.
Well, it's funny where we came from, where we both went to, let's say, high school, that
Right.
city that we lived in. There's a lot of them happening down there. A lot of them.
What's that?
But I'm up here. There's a lot of home invasion robberies happening in the town that you and I went to high school in.
Uh-huh.
Up here and out where you are, I'm sure, nothing. Okay, because if you come into somebody's house out here, you're going to go out and stiff and cold if you even leave. Some of these places might just put you in the stew pot.
Well, the major town that I live near, Tulsa, I'll venture that out. There's a lot of, I mean, you can't watch an episode of 48 Hours without seeing, every other one is based here, we have our share of crime, like anywhere else in the United States. But yeah, people, they tend not to go, jumping into somebody's house because that might be a well-armed house.
Yeah. Well, we're having a lot of issues out here. I don't know if you guys are getting the same thing, but once again, let me bring up that I-5 corridor, which is huge for child trafficking.
Oh, yeah, that's...
All the way from San Diego to Canada. There's every truck stop you can find a kid if you were to look.
Oh.
And I think the FBI is finally starting to do it. We've had 2 or 3 incidences in the past month.
Yeah, you always see missing kids.
I just don't even get me started on that one, or California's new law.
Yeah, that'll be another episode.
The problems of it happening out here are real. I'm seeing stories where the same store that I shop in, somebody tried to grab some kid. Somebody tried to lure a kid into a truck. Somebody tried to lure an adult into her. One woman was getting into her car and sitting, actually in our hometown again, not our hometown, but in our high school town. One woman was sitting in her car at the local shopping center, and somebody came on by trying to jiggle the doors and reach into her. I don't know what the hell's going on out in this world. We've taken a step, Doug. We've changed into a different society now.
Yeah, I've actually stepped over the line on. I now do not want to watch NFL. They're sitting there putting a rapist's name. Okay, from what I understand, that was false information that he didn't rape a child, but he is still up on. Was it assault?
Assault charges,
or actually rape.
I heard it was rape, but I haven't heard anything against that yet. So.
Yeah, and he's in the process. Okay, he's innocent right now because he hasn't been proven guilty. Yeah, and the guy had a knife in his hand, and he was reaching in. It's like you guys, not obeying the officers, and he's reaching into a vehicle. Do we have to wait until he's actually shooting the officers before they take action?
Well, there was another video I just saw today, and the videos come so rapidly now, and they're cherry-picked. They come from times ago. We're probably going to see the Oscar Grant video coming up pretty soon, or the Oh, the big one down in the LA riots that you were part of, where they took that Reginald Denny out of the truck and beat him up.
Yep.
We're going to see all these, but there was one just recently of I think it was a trio of cops arresting one woman.
Mm-hmm.
She was a person of color. I will divulge that. And they were being proper with her.
Right.
They were holding her. She was getting kind of antsy, so they're kind of pushing her down. And then she swung at one of the cops and cold cocked him. And they dropped her. People are saying, "Say, they can't treat people like that." How do you expect to get by if you're going to go punch a cop and not get any retaliation? We need to emasculate our cops, not emasculate. I want to see my cops in full body armor. I want to see my cops out there safe as they're defending my kids.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I just want to see well-trained cops and
Thank
cops
you.
that aren't.
That's where I was going to go next. Is they?
Yeah.
They a lot of them. There are some bad eggs in there.
Well, there are. But everywhere you go, you're going to find bad eggs.
Right, and they got to weed them out. They got to, and there's no room for any racial bias at all. We're at the day of age where everybody should be treating each other equally and fairly.
And I'm lucky, so if I could use that term, I don't know, but I can actually side with the argument of the BLM movement in the fact that I was driving through northern Georgia, southern South Carolina, over by Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, to Beaufort County, South Carolina, and Savannah, Georgia. And I had just picked up my then fiance in school. If you remember, I used to travel back all the time.
Right.
We rented a car and we drove out to Hilton Head Island and spent a week out there. Hilton Head Island is really nice. We were out there in the off season, so it was colder than crap.
Yep.
Cheap, like cheap. And we were enjoying it. It was time for ourselves. Right. Nobody else was out there bugging us or anything like that. And we decided we're going to go into Savannah, Georgia to go have dinner.
Right. And
just as an aside, that Savannah, Georgia is also the home of that one young lady that you and I have our mutual connection with. I dated her, you dated her mother. Yeah. And I drove through her town. So just here is with my current fiance and somebody I was involved with. It was kind of a strange thing.
It's going to happen.
Anyway, driving back up the coastal highway, going through Beaufort County, South Carolina, and I got to say, Beaufort County.
You just like saying Beaufort.
Yeah. I was, what was it? I think I was going 26 and a 25, and I got lit up. Okay. To me, that's a bullcrap kind of pullover.
Yeah.
Hold on. What? Wait.
Yeah, we're going to wrap this up pretty soon, honey.
Hold on. Anyway, cop pulled me over, and I said, "Hey, it says 30 miles an hour right there."
By the way, everybody, that honey was referring to Bob's daughter, not Bob.
Well, I'm hurt.
Well, that's just the way it
is. Anyway, cop pulled us over. I pointed out there's a 30-mile-an-hour sign up there. He goes, "Yeah, how far ahead of you is that sign?" Son of a bitch, he caught me. So I broke the speed limit. There was a fair charge. Okay, great. But he goes, "But because I always have my military haircut, you look like a nice, clean-cut young person. You're a nice white boy. And your wife or girlfriend, I'd like to think she's your wife, as you guys are out kind of late at night, is well-dressed, But and he said, white boy, I'll cut the fee. I will cut the fine." And that hit me so hard. The next morning, we woke up, and I'm watching public access TV. And I'll swear to you on a pack of whatever you want me to swear on, that there was actually a blip on public access TV that the local KKK is sponsoring a pancake breakfast in so-and-so hall.
Oh.
So it's still out there.
Oh,
and I see it, and I've dealt with it.
Yes.
And it bothers me that I had to see it, especially in that way. And rightfully, hey, it bothers me that I benefited from it, that I took an $80 fine down to a $40 fine.
Yeah.
And, I probably wasn't as enlightened as I am now. I would have probably said something about it and pay the full $80 now. But, I was able to get by with it.
Don't do me any favors.
Yeah, that one, I look back at that one and it's like, that really hit me. And I did wrong. I did wrong by agreeing to that one. But I think I should have turned that cop in. However, I found out later on that cop was in a family of 3 brothers, all cops in the area, and the uncle was the judge. Yeah. Welcome to South Carolina. Sorry for people from South Carolina who are going to. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, that is.
So yes, is it permeated the United States? No, Are there pockets of it? Yes.
Yeah.
The beautiful town in which I live had a law that no people of color could own property or a house up until the 80s. And there's still a very strong presence out here. It's getting kicked out. It's getting sunlight doused upon it, which is good. It needs to happen.
Racism.
There is
referring
racism
to racism.
Yeah. There is racism out there.
Yes,
and
there is. And it's being kicked out. And there's no room for it.
No, not at all.
I saw an interesting thing on Facebook. It was saying how, I forget, I wish I had it. So that's, that I can get on BLM based on that. And
I think I'd have more respect for BLM in the whole run if they didn't have the looting, the violence, and the Marxism with it.
Exactly.
Okay. If it was a grassroots organization where they're begging for money because they need a tank of gas to go to Washington, D.C. to go on over and air their grievances like our Constitution allows, I would have a great deal more responsibility. Retract that. A great deal more respect for them.
Yes.
If they had that, than if they had all these big pockets and the leadership being admittedly Marxist and looking for the overthrow of the nation and all that. Once you do that, you are now on that same caliber of people that we've taken an oath against.
Exactly.
And I wish that they had taken a different way of it. I wish that they had...
it's a worthy cause. It's just going about it wrong.
Yes. And they had such an opportunity. Yep. The entire national community was on their side with that horrible killing in...
Floyd, yeah.
Yeah, the George Floyd. They had political capital at the wazoo.
We got a comment from our viewer. He's saying, looting and rioting is separate from BLM. Opportunists should not be grouped with the cause. Have to wholeheartedly agree with that, Happily Rotten.
I'm with you on that one. And I think that, there is, if they're peacefully protesting, great. But they need to rat out the people within that are causing them the angst. If Doug and I are out together and you're with us, and who's this gentleman's name?
Happily Rotten.
Okay, if Happily Rotten is with us and we're all having a beer, and I start acting like a real jackwagon out there, I'd expect you and Happily Rotten to separate yourself from me.
Yeah.
I think that's what a wise person would do. You're right. You are totally right. The rioting and looting is opportunistic, but until we see a very strong no coming out from everybody, no, we will not do this. We will not destroy our communities. Then they're going to have problems.
Yep. And their cause is righteous. Oh,
it is. It is.
Yeah, it's righteous.
The same thing as our parents walking through, with Martin Luther King.
Yes.
It's the same thing. I just wish that they'd have had a better,
leader?
I guess.
Role model?
Huh?
Leader?
No, I'm not going to say role model. I wish they had a better way of getting their point across than to align themselves with people who are going to be burning and looting and hurting people.
Yeah. I mean, disrespecting the flag, looting, making a hero out of a rapist. What would you call that? Faux pas?
No, they're getting me kind of faux pas right there. But yeah, thank you very much for that opinion. I'm totally with you on that one.
He wrote something more. It says, I dislike the nitpicking, though. Colin Kaepernick bend the knee as a form of a peaceful protest, and he loses his job. But then the stores start burning, and suddenly we want peaceful again. The history of BLM is peaceful, but was it listened to? No. Again, my problem with Kaepernick is time and place. And to me, it was I'm a veteran, and I thought that was disrespectful. National anthem and the flag.
Seeing our colleagues come home wrapped in that flag, that box wrapped in that flag, and their widow touching the flag one last time. Yeah, I think he had a good opportunity to stand up for it. I think he picked the wrong way, and he ticked off a lot of people with that one. Plus, let's really be honest on this one. He wasn't doing that great as a football player. You're
talking to a couple Niner fans. Up until recently, just the whole NFL. We covered that. He was right on what he was talking about. It was wrong how he did it. But that's an opinion. And that might be splitting hairs.
Yep. Okay, I think we're also pushing the end of our
Yep, we're about
time here.
Yep, we're on time.
Rotten, thank you for joining us. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Please
you had
come
some
back anytime.
great input, Happily Rotten.
Great input. Beautiful. Well, that's what we want, too. We might disagree, but at least we're doing it civilly. I think that's great. I think we actually came to more agreement than disagreement on this one.
Yep, exactly. I Happily Rotten. Yeah, I hope you come back again because definitely value your input. Just FYI for Happily Rotten, we don't know when we put out on Twitch our little podcast here, but every Wednesday night he put wrong on how he did it in quotes. I love dissonance. Anything last words?
I've got nothing. I'm doing pretty good here. I actually had to mute because I had an 8-year-old meltdown here. Something didn't work well with their computer. So sorry for that one. We had a unwilling guest there for a little bit. But Rod, like I said, thank you for coming on in. Everybody else, come in. Please give us some opines, respectful opines, and let's do it again next week.
Exactly. And say hi to the missus and the kids for me.
And you do the same.
I'll do the same. All right. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Bye now.
Thanks for joining us with Never Trust a Fart. If you want to support us, please go on to Patreon. You can see it on the graphic right there on how to get to it. We call in on Zoom. Thank you, Zoom. Record it on Twitch. Then I go ahead and take that recording, edit it, and we place it on YouTube every Wednesday. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you can subscribe, that would definitely help us out. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.